During this video, I'm going to go over 3 easy ways to keep your motivation high. So, all of us runners, no matter how often you run or how experienced you are, experience times where running maybe just doesn't feel quite as fun or it's just harder to get out the door. And so, here are 3 easy things to try out if you're having a tough time right now. So, the first one is to consider your why. So, why are you running? What is the purpose? What purpose does this serve for you in your life? If you can find intrinsic reasons for running, you're more likely to have a stable motivation or sense of motivation to continue to get your runs done. So, intrinsic reasons could be you're running for personal growth. It's the enjoyment of being outside. You do it so you can spend time with others, or maybe it's your time to be alone and away from others. So, finding reasons that are internally really meaningful for you. So, to be able to practice this and try this out during your runs, what you want to do is during each run, find something that was enjoyable or personally meaningful to you during that run. It has to be specific to that run. All right, so what you're doing is you're conditioning your brain to focus on the positives and focus on the things that are meaningful to you, even if it's something really small. So try doing that during each run and even write it down so that you're really taking some time to be mindful of why you're doing this and what purpose it serves for you in your life. The next thing you can try doing is changing up your routine. So, when we run frequently and often, or we're hitting big weeks, running can start to feel really monotonous, or like we're just checking something off of a checklist, or we're just going through the motions. So, now it's just something we're doing rather than something we're experiencing. So to get back into, really enjoying your runs again and having it be something that you want to do, even just making small changes to your routine can be really helpful. So it could be that you do your route backwards, right? If you do the same route most days, or changing up your route just slightly can be really helpful. If you're someone who tends to run alone, maybe you join a group or have a friend join you and you do some of your runs with other people. When you have more time, it can be really helpful to drive somewhere else, get a sense of or different scenery, and that can also be really helpful. And even just changing up the time of the day that you run. So if you usually run in the morning, try running in the afternoon and just get out of the monotony or the very specific routine that you're in. The last thing you can try doing is to not overcomplicate things. So, if things are really complicated or a running routine is really complicated, it can be really more difficult to be motivated to run because it's just a lot more mental energy to do complicated things. So, if you can simplify the runs or simplify the routine, that can be really helpful. So this might mean laying out all your clothes and your gear and your fuel ahead of time. So you don't have to take the time or the energy to think through what are you going to wear, what kind of or how much water do you need and how many calories do you need. You've already planned that out ahead of time. So you're just changing, you're grabbing your things, and you're able to head out the door. For some people, they struggle with getting the runs done or feeling motivated to get the runs done because they have to do a lot of planning. So, if you are someone who day to day has to plan out when you're going to run, where you're going to go, and all that, it can be harder to get it done. So, if you can make time during the day and it's the same time every day to run, that can be really helpful. So, you no longer have to plan out when you're going to run because you're just doing it the same time every single day. The morning tends to be best for most people. They feel mentally more alert, more energized, more motivated to run right away in the morning. So this might be something to consider is if you have to change your sleep routine slightly so that you can wake up earlier and get that run done right away. And then pick routes that are easy. So if you have a way to make a route that's simple, even if it's doing loops, sometimes that can be really helpful so you don't have to think as hard about where you're going to go. If you can avoid stoplights or crowded areas, that can be really helpful too. And then sometimes it's just easier to get on the treadmill, and that's okay. If you have a treadmill at home, it means just changing, going into the room where there's a treadmill and hopping on the treadmill. And that is all right to do as well. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any other ideas as to what's been helpful for you to stay motivated during periods of time where you're just having a harder time get out the door, leave a comment so other people can learn from your experiences.